Did you know you can grow celery in your own garden? It's very easy to do, and I'm going to show you a quick way of how we get our seeds started here, and then we'll progressively work through the growing season. Now, the celery in which you're going to grow in your backyard is not going to be the type that you're going to get at the grocery store, that tight bundle of brand name celery. The ones that we grow is a celery tall Utah or Utah tall celery, as well as a Chinese dark green celery. These are more of a looser bundle of stalks than that compacted kind that you're used to getting. Nevertheless, the same flavor. We've had plants that's grown 14, 18 inches tall, big, beautiful plants. We're going to start a few here and then transition them out. You want to start them about 12 to 14 weeks before your last average frost date. They're extremely tiny seeds, as you can see here. So you can plant it. We're going to do the cup method to begin with. What that means is we're going to take a party cup. We filled it about 3/4 of the way full with potting soil. And we're going to broadcast the seeds, dust them with the additional soil. And we're not going to start them in a seed tray right away. We're going to start multiple plants here, and then once they get 3 or 4 inches tall, then we can move them over into their own individual home. This way, we're saving space on the front end and then able to be selective of the plants that appear to be the most healthy in order to have the planting them over in the tray. So what we want to do here is we want to take these, and because the particular variety in which these seeds here are between 5 and 7 years old. So we're going to overseed, meaning if you're only intending to plant 10 plants, we're going to plant 60 or 70, because over the years, you lose about 10% germination rate. So 5 years, probably about 50% germination rate. 6 years, you're only going to get about 40% germination rate. Now that's just a general rule. It's not necessarily a hard fact, but it's something to keep in mind. So what we'll do here is we want to just broadcast in a spiral, what I call a spiral. You start on the inside and work your way in, and just really plant them heavy. Dust them with a little soil. Make sure it's good seed to soil contact. Unlike, let's say, a bush bean or a bean plant or a pumpkin plant, we don't want to cover a lot of soil on top, or even a pepper seed. We don't want to put a whole lot of soil on top of these seeds because they need to punch through the soil. Even though this is very loose soil, if we put 2 inches of soil on it, they're going to struggle to come through. So we want to do that. And then what we will do, I'll get this other plant and we'll talk about watering, mulch, and the care in which they need to be given in order for you to get a good, healthy seed start in order to take out to your garden. So I've got them planted. Now, in order to hold the moisture in, because with any seed, if the moisture is wicked away from the seed itself, it can't germinate because there's no moisture there. So we can continue to keep monitoring these and water them almost daily, because the ambient temperature in your house in the late winter time frame is probably pretty dry. So there's a lot of moisture getting wicked out of here. So if we just take a paper towel, cover the soil, water it in, it does not blow away the seeds or disturbs the soil. It kind of filters it down. And these do not have holes cut in the bottom of them, so we want to monitor and limit the amount of moisture we're putting into it so it's not a bog, and the potting soil in which we are using is already moist from when we purchased it from the manufacturer. So these will take about 10 days before you begin to start seeing the plants germinate, the seeds germinate. At that point, you want to continue to pull back the paper towel. This will dry as a crust on the top, but hold that moisture in. So when you feel that there's about 50% germination, then you can go ahead and remove the paper towel and water it if the soil is needing it, and then you'll be on your way. Once they get about 3 or 4 inches tall, then you can move them into their own individual cell. They need about 70 degrees or so for germination. So if you're in a normal home like we are, in a side room, 68, 72 degrees, really going to be fine. It's where you're in that unclimatized basement or garage or somewhat warm greenhouses, when that heating mat, an investment in that would be very, very important in this atmosphere or this particular application, because when the seeds partially germinate, because it's warm enough and then they don't have enough warmth and it's cold, they die. So once they've germinated, what you can do is you can put them underneath a grow light. Happy Leaf LED provides a great grow light, or you can just set them on your windowsill, and then once they get large enough, you can transfer them to the tray and then put them underneath your grow light. So celery, it can be grown in your backyard very, very easily. Some nurseries provide the starts, or you can start them indoors just like we have today.
For more information, please visit thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com.